Okay, Math 2, Unit 3, Lesson 2, triangle congruence by side, 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 angle, angle, side, angle, and anyone know what HL stands for?
No.
A guess? Yes. Hypotenuse leg is correct. Good job.
Whoa.
Okay, so we're going to write out what each one means, and I just set them. So SSS stands for what?
Side, side,
Side, side, side.
side.
And we don't want to have to write side, side, side every single time, so we just use SSS from here on out. Okay, SAS, what do you think SAS stands for?
Angle, side, angle.
Close.
Oh, side, angle, side. No,
It's okay. Side, angle, side. And same thing. We don't want to have to write that every single time, so from now on we're just going to use SAS. Okay. Angle, angle, side for AAS. Let's write that down. Angle, angle, side. Now I had a kid ask, could I write that as side, angle, angle? Is that okay? It is. If you put the S in front of the A and said side, angle, angle, it's the same thing. If you read this one backwards, SAS, is it still SAS? Same thing here. If you read this one backwards, side, 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 is that still the same thing? Yeah, so this one is so far is the only tricky one where you can read forwards or backwards. It means the same thing, but typically angle, angle, side is how we will say it. Okay, what else do we have? ASA, which stands for what? And what about this one? If I read it backwards, would it still be ASA? Yeah, so we don't have to worry about that one. Angle, side, angle. And what's our last one? HL, which stands for hypotenuse leg. Okay. And we only use this when we're dealing with what type of triangle? The only triangle that has a hypotenuse. A right triangle. We can only use hypotenuse leg when there is a right triangle. Okay. Determine what.
You go right leg.
What was that? Oh, thank you. Determine what type. Right here I put leg and I don't know why. What was I supposed to put? Right
Triangle.
triangle. Thank you. And I'm just going to draw a little image of a triangle. Okay, determine what type of information is given using SAS, SAS,
What?
AAS, which is the only one that we can read backwards and looks different but means the same thing, ASA, and hypotenuse leg. You could call that leg hypotenuse if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 9 images, and we're just going to go through and name which one is which. So 1, just draw a triangle. 2, draw a triangle. And 3, draw a triangle. I am going to go in and fill them in after. Number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the only one that looks different. Just make sure you draw it with the right angle in there. Okay. Anyone need more time to draw the triangle? Okay, I'm going to start giving information. If you didn't finish drawing as we go, you can draw them in. First one, if these markings were given to you. Now, right now, I'm only going to give you one triangle at a time. In just a bit, and in homework and quizzes and tests, it will always be comparing two triangles that you're going to use this for. Okay, so for now, we're just trying to and we're going to talk about when it's used. Okay, so next one is there. How many side congruent markings do I have? 2. How many angle markings do I have? 1. So 2 S's and 1 A. Does that happen only once?
But,
2 S's and 1 A?
yeah.
Yeah, it happens only once. Now, the only thing you have to remember is, in order to use SAS, or side angle side, is that the angle must be sandwiched between the two sides. The angle must be sandwiched between the two sides. So here are the two sides. Is this angle sandwiched between the two sides?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what would we say it is?
SAS.
SAS, side angle side. Questions on why it is side angle side? All right, next one, let's put some markings in. Going to give you this, that, and that marking there. All right, how many angle markings are given? 2. How many side markings?
1.
So 2 A's and 1 S. Does that happen once or twice? 2 A's and 1 S. How do I know whether I'm going to use AAS or ASA?
If the side is sandwiched or not.
Okay, if the side is sandwiched, he said he's correct, whether the side is sandwiched or not. If it's sandwiched, which one would I use? ASA, because the side is sandwiched between 2 angles. Here's the 2 angles. Is that side sandwiched between the 2 angles? It is not. So what would we say? AAS, not angle side angle. The math word is included. So if you ever read a math book or watch a video and it says the angle or the side is included, what word do I use? Starts with an S instead of included. Sandwich. All right, so I'll use those interchangeably. Next one, angle, angle, and that side marking there. Again, these markings will be given to you. We're just doing one at a time. 2 A's and 1 S. So it's like this one again. Is it AAS or ASA? How do we know? Okay, what did Cooper say earlier? It depends on whether the side is sandwiched, included between the 2 angles. Is this side sandwiched between those 2 angles? Do you see where this one, if it were sandwiched, would have had to have been up right there? Okay, so what would I say for this one that I'm pointing at here? ASA? All right. Next one. Angle marking there, side marking there, and side there. Bless you. Okay, how many side markings do I have? 2, and how many angle markings? 1. 2 S's and 1 A. This is the only one I have where there's 2 S's and 1 A. So if you put side angle side, does anybody think?
Wait, but it's not.
But it's not is correct. So he knows it's not. Who else? Who can explain how we know that it's not? Anyone willing to explain? No? Anyone think they know? You don't have to speak up, but anybody think they know? Do you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Isn't it because it's not on like the same like line side? You know, because like one's on this side and one's on like this side.
Because not sandwiched.
Okay. I'm not sure if you're talking about where the position of the angle is. Where, according to this SAS, where does the angle have to be?
In between the sides.
In between the two sides. Here are the two sides. Is that angle in between those two sides?
No.
Do you agree the angle I'm pointing at right there would be the angle that's sandwiched? And this one is not, so can I use side angle side? Yes or no?
Oh, my bad, no.
No. So if I'm reading in order, what you always do, you see SAS, side, angle, angle, side, angle. I would read this as side, angle. Is there a side, angle up here anywhere? No. So you'd really get it wrong if you put that. That's not even a possibility. Got it?
So what?
So, not enough info is what we're going to write for now. Not enough info. We're going to explain why the angle is not, you can put sandwiched or included. I'm going to use the mathematical word, it's not included. Included meaning between the two side markings. All right, question so far at all? It will get harder as we're comparing images. For now, we're trying to take it easy. Mark those markings there for number 5. How many side markings? How many angle markings? 0. And even if there were an angle marking, do I have anything for 3 sides? What is it? Side, side, side. All right, questions? Next one. I'm going to put an angle marking bottom right, an angle marking at the top, and a side marking on the left. 2 A's, 1 S. Is it angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle? Don't blurt it out, write it down. 2 angles and an S. Is the S sandwiched or not? Sandwiched or not? And if it is, you write one. If it's not, you write the other. I'm going to call on Vincent. Can you tell me what you think it is?
I got ASA.
ASA? Do you guys agree? Anyone not sure? Okay. Vincent, in order to use ASA, the side must be, what's the word we use? Sandwiched between the 2 angles. Here are my 2 angles. Is that side sandwiched in between?
Oh, no.
So what would it be?
AAS.
Good job, AAS. Guys, I'm spending so much time here because kids really struggle on this section of the test. When we get to the test, we're comparing 2 at a time, so it does get a little more complicated, but you want to make sure you're comfortable with reading them. Okay, next one is, I'm going to put 3 up there, 1 here, and 2 there. All right, any side markings? 3 angles, so is it AAA? Why not? Is AAA a possibility? It is not. Got it? AAA is not a possibility. Okay. I'm going to come back to this one here. Actually, I'll explain it later. AAA is not a possibility, so what we say, not enough info. There's no AAA. All right, number 8, marking, angle, side marking. All right, write it down. Connor, what is it?
SAS.
Do you guys agree with him? SAS. All right, question so far. All right, next one. What type of triangle is this? All right, triangle. I'm going to give you those 2 markings. How many side markings are there? 2. And how many angle markings? That is a marking. That's 1. So is this side angle side? No, because the angle is not sandwiched. So I would call it side, side, angle. Is side, side, angle a possibility? No, I crossed it out earlier, but I will tell you this. The only time side angle is a possibility is when it's a right triangle. SSA is only allowed when it's a right triangle, but we don't call it SSA. What do we call it? Hypotenuse leg. So you're never going to write SSA because we call it hypotenuse leg instead, but know that hypotenuse leg technically is SSA. Okay, so it only works when?
Right triangle.
Right triangle. Are all right triangles, are you always going to use hypotenuse leg? Not necessarily. All right, so how do you recognize a hypotenuse leg? There has to be a marking on the hypotenuse and the leg. Where's the hypotenuse in this image? Am I pointing to it, yes or no?
No.
Am I pointing to it, yes or no? So this is the hypotenuse. Does it matter which leg you mark? Or that is marked, because they'll be given to you. What if I had markings, don't erase yours, what if I had markings like this? And the hypotenuse was not marked. Would that still be HL? No, because what is not marked that has to be? Hypotenuse. If I did it like that, would that be okay? Does it matter which leg is marked?
No.
No, as long as it's a hypotenuse in one of your legs. Questions? All right, which two did we cross out? We said there was no triple A, and there was no SSA unless it was a right triangle, and we don't call it SSA, we call it hypotenuse leg. All right, okay, so they don't always label these all out for you guys. You'll have to remember which one's which. So just remember, there's A's and there are S's. Is there a triple S? Yes. Is there a triple A? No, no triple A. Okay, combinations of letters. I have 2 A's and 1 S's, 2 A's and 1 S. So can I rearrange the A's and the S in that case? 2 S's, 1 A, can I rearrange them and call it SSA? Yes or no? No. So remember, there's no triple A and no backwards donkey ever when we're doing these. No triple A, no backwards donkey. No one gets it?
Yeah.
Okay, no bad words in math, pretty much. Forward or backward. Okay, are we ready to move on? Okay, moving on. Now we're going to explain why we use this and where and how and what. Use side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle,
Are
side.
you recording for your YouTube?
I will tell you what. H, L, or not enough info. To prove the triangles are congruent. We're trying to prove that triangles are congruent. Okay, so taking a step back, the whole reason we use these 3-letter combos and the HL is to prove what? Triangles are congruent. And on our previous lesson, the one that you guys had for homework, what did we need to prove in order to say triangles were congruent? That all the corresponding angles and sides were congruent. Do we have to do that anymore?
No.
No. If I can prove that the 3 corresponding sides are congruent, can we say about the 2 triangles? They're congruent. If I can prove with 2 triangles their corresponding side angle sides are congruent, then the 2 triangles are congruent. I no longer have to say all the angles and all the sides. All right, let's try one. Number 1. All right, I'm going to put markings on. I'm going to put on this triangle at the right 1, 2, and 3. This one over here is going to be 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 2 triangles. Do I have 3 side markings? Yes? are the three corresponding sides congruent? So are these two triangles congruent? Yes, by what? Side, side, side. Do I have to know anything about the angles? No. If I have two triangles that all corresponding sides are congruent, then their angles are congruent and they're congruent triangles. Okay, let's try another one. Number 2. This one's kind of tricky, so please make sure you're paying attention. Okay. 1, 1, 1.
What?
2,
Oh.
2, 2. Okay. Does it also look like side, side, side?
Yeah.
But it's really not enough info.
It's not enough info.
Why? Why
Oh,
can
it
I
is
not?
enough info. I mean, it's enough info to know they're not congruent.
Use da to prove they are congruent. And if not, then not enough info. Okay. So why can't I use side, side, side? Those 3 markings right on this left triangle means that these 3 sides are congruent to themselves. And these 3 here means that those 3 sides are congruent to themselves, but are the 2 triangles congruent to each other? No. So they're congruent to themselves, not each other. There is a test question like this, which is why I'm going over it right now. So we're going to put here, they're not congruent to each other. They're congruent to themselves, but not each other. For example, this here could be a 3, 3, 3, and this could be a 4, 4, 4. Is that congruent to each other?
No.
No. All right. I'm going to, up here in a little thinking bubble, draw 2 small triangles. And what if I had it like this? 1, 1, 1, and 1, 1, 1. Would that work? That's another tricky test question. Why does it work? They are congruent to themselves, but they're also congruent to each other. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try another one. Number 3. Draw like a slanted X. We're going to draw a bow tie. So an X. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, did they give us a marking on the 3rd side? Yes or no?
No.
So can I just add it because I want to?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
There's a 3rd angle theorem. Is there a 3rd side theorem?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Okay. So can I just mark those sides because I want to? No. But there is a marking I am allowed to put mathematically correct. What is it?
An angle on a vertical angle.
Are these vertical angles? And what do we know about vertical angles? So I'm going to put that note here. Vertical angles are congruent. You need to get familiarize yourself with saying that because we're going to use that in proofs. Vertical angles are congruent. Okay, now can I say the 2 triangles are congruent?
No. You can?
I have a side,
yeah.
and an angle. What's the order? Is it
SAS.
SAS? Why? Because the angle is sandwiched between the 2 sides. Okay, number 4.
What's on YouTube?
Okay. There's one big triangle, but can you see that there's 2 little ones in there? Okay, so we are comparing 2 triangles. Here, these 2 triangles were separate. Here, they were separate. On number 3, they were connected at the angle, and number 4, they're connected by a side. So they're connected triangles. All right. What did they give me? Did they give me an angle marking? They did. It's not the usual angle markings, but a right angle, still angle markings. Did they give me a side marking? Do I have anything that's AS or SA? No, but there is a marking I can add that's mathematically correct. It's not a vertical angle. Anybody know what it is?
The one
The one that's in the middle? Same
That's
thing?
all, yeah.
Okay. Do the two triangles share this side right here? So if I were to redraw them separately, would that side be congruent
Uh-huh.
to the other triangle? So I'm going to put a double marking there because I've already used one on the outer. Now that there is called the reflexive property. And you're going to use that in tonight's notes when you're doing your notes. We're going to talk about reflexive property. Have you seen reflexive property before?
Yeah.
Yes? Math 1? Okay, what does reflexive property mean? Thank you. That
Oh, it's
anything
like-
is, go ahead.
Like a mirror angle.
Anything is equal to itself. Is 5 equal to 5?
Uh-huh.
7 equal to 7. X is equal to X. A side is equal to itself. If you have a ruler, it's equal to its own self. It's reflexive property. Got it? Okay. Oh, no, we didn't finish. Okay, so now that I have the markings, I have 2 side markings and 1 angle. Is it side angle side or side side angle? I'm going to cover side side angle. Do we have a side side angle? No, but if it's a right triangle, what do we call it? HL. As long as you have a hypotenuse marking, which I do, and a leg marking, it doesn't matter which leg, I do have one, it's HL, and it has to be a right triangle. Okay, number 5, we're going to draw this parallelogram looking image. Then we're going to draw a diagonal from one corner to the other. Then I'm going to give you angle markings. One at the bottom right and one at the top left, or it's easier to just look. And then 2 here and 2 there. How many angle markings did I give you? I'm going to reword that. How many sets? There's 4 angle markings, but how many sets of angle markings? 2. There's 1 there and the second one there. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have anything that's angle?
Mm-hmm.
But is there a marking that's mathematically correct to put in?
Uh-huh.
Is it the same as the last one?
Uh-huh.
Do you see the 2 triangles? There's one there, there's one there. Do they share a side? Yes. Why is it okay to put only 1 here, but I put 2 over here?
Because there's no other.
Here, there's no other side markings. On this one, was there already a side marking of 1? Yes. Okay. So now, when you do these, guys, you want to practice looking at one triangle at a time. How many angle markings do I have there? And how many side markings? 1? Is that side marking sandwiched, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, so angle, side, or angle, side, angle?
Angle, side angle.
And then you look at the bottom, is that one also angle, side, angle?
Mhm.
Then what can we say?
Uh-huh. Correct.
Yes, because of angle, side, angle. All right, a few more. Number 6, I'm going to go a little quicker now. That seems like we have the hang of it. I'm going to leave it. If it looks like a right triangle, you cannot assume it is a right triangle. Did I give you any right angle markings?
Mm-hmm.
Did I give you right angle markings?
What do you mean right angle marking?
Little squares for a right angle?
Oh, no. Oh, right angle.
Right angle. I gave you angle markings, but no right angle markings. Okay, how many sets of angle markings do I have? 2. Do they share a side, or is there a vertical angle? Do they share a side? Is this the side they share there? Is it okay to put 1 marking? All right. So, cover up one of the sides. How many angle markings do you have?
2.
1 side. Is the side sandwiched, yes or no?
No.
No. So angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side? Angle, angle, side. Check the other one. Is it also angle, angle, side? Yes. So what are we going to write down? AAS. Yes.
You can use the third angle theorem there, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't that mean the answer would change?
If you use you could use on a few of them, there's multiple right answers, but there is no AAA. You could use the third angle theorem and then conclude that it's a right angle, but we still don't know anything about the hypotenuse, so on this one it wouldn't. Okay. Number 7. But a heads up, there are some where there are multiple right answers. Not on here necessarily, but on your worksheet. On the test, there's only one right answer. Okay, I'm going to give you the markings. Marking there, a marking there, side marking there, and there. Okay. How many sets of side markings? One. How many sets of angle markings? That's not enough, but always ask yourself, do they share a side or is there a vertical angle? Vertical angle? Now, is it safe to mark it like that? No. Why? Is there already a single marking? Right now, it's saying that these two angles are also congruent to those two. Do we know that?
Mine mean like a double. I think that, is it safe to like make those?
Oh, yes, it's mathematically correct to mark them, but can I mark them with only one marking?
No.
No. Okay, now look at that triangle. How many angle markings? How many side markings? And is that side sandwiched? So what would we say?
ASA.
ASA. What about that side there? Is it also ASA? Angle, side angle. All right, last one. I'm gonna let you guys try that one on your own. All right. Do they share a side or is there a vertical angle? Okay. Did anybody mark angle, side angle? Yes? Anybody put not enough info? Anybody not sure? Okay. First off, angle, side angle is the most common wrong answer that I get here. Why is it not angle, side angle? Do you see first where kids would make that mistake? Angle, a side, and an angle. Can you see that? But remember, I keep telling you, look at one image at a time. Is it still angle, side angle? No. What about the bottom one? No. When the kids make the mistake of angle, side angle, what's the mistake they're making? They're jumping from one triangle to the other. Do you see that angle, side, and I jump to the other one? When you do angle, side, angle, you're staying in the same triangle. Do you see that? Okay, so what would we say here?
No.
Not enough info. Please don't ever make that mistake. All right. Go ahead and take your packets back out.